cockpits, allowing them to efficiently cover short distances. The difference between helicopters and eVTOLs is similar to that between gasoline-powered cars and electric vehicles, explains Yue Ting, Vice President of Vertaxi, a leading Chinese eVTOL startup. This technological leap brings a wide range of new possibilities, surpassing the capabilities of traditional helicopters. eVTOLs are positioned to create a whole new transportation model, shifting the way people and goods move in the future. According to China Post Securities, these aircraft could offer 60% energy savings, reduce emissions by 90%, and generate 65% less noise compared to conventional fuel-powered helicopters. This makes them not only eco-friendly but also well-suited for urban environments, where noise and environmental issues are growing concerns. The tech-rich province of Guangdong, particularly Shenzhen, home to drone giant DJI, is leading the charge in this eVTOL revolution. Local governments are supporting the development of eVTOL technology through initiatives and test flights, making sure the infrastructure is ready for widespread adoption. This focus on reducing environmental impact while encouraging innovation demonstrates how eVTOLs could transform modern cities into cleaner, quieter places. One of the most exciting developments in the eVTOL field is Autoflight's Prosperity, which recently completed a cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai in just 20 minutes, a journey that would typically take 2 hours by car. With ticket prices around 300 yuan, much cheaper than traditional urban helicopter flights, this achievement highlights the potential for eVTOLs to become an affordable and accessible option for short-distance travel. Operating costs for eVTOLs are only 15% of what it costs to run helicopters, meaning they could eventually offer air transportation at prices comparable to today's ride-hailing services. This opens up the possibility of air taxis becoming as commonplace as calling an Uber, offering quicker, more efficient commutes and reducing dependence on congested roadways. EHang, a major player in the eVTOL space, made a significant breakthrough when it became the first company to receive an airworthiness certificate from China's aviation regulator for its two-passenger eVTOL. This certification marks a pivotal moment, confirming the safety and technical capabilities of EHang's aircraft. EHang, a global leader in urban air mobility technology, recently announced a successful pilotless flight of its eVTOL, paving the way for commercial operations. With over 1,200 pre-orders from international markets, EHang expects on-demand air taxis to become a common mode of transport within the next 5 years. The increasing demand for eVTOLs underscores their potential to transform urban mobility, offering a faster, quieter, and more environmentally friendly alternative to traditional ground transport. Despite this progress, challenges remain, particularly in battery technology and safety. Current eVTOL batteries need higher energy density to support longer, more complex flights, limiting the operational range of the aircraft. Additionally, safety concerns require extensive testing and development before eVTOLs can be rolled out on a large scale. Regulatory authorities are taking a cautious approach, with projections suggesting that the widespread commercial use of eVTOLs may not be realized until 2035. This timeline is intended to give enough room for technological advancements and the establishment of robust safety protocols, ensuring that the transition to autonomous electric flying vehicles is both secure and sustainable. Investors are showing strong faith in the eVTOL market, with more than 85% of China's investments in low-altitude aviation being directed towards these vehicles. The sector is seeing significant venture capital influx, with companies like Aerofugia and Volant Aerotech attracting substantial investments. Even major electric vehicle manufacturers in China are entering the race. Xpeng Aeroti, a subsidiary of Xpeng Motors, plans to begin mass production of eVTOLs by 2026 with a target price around 2 million yuan. To address the safety concerns surrounding eVTOLs, China's aviation authorities have outlined a careful, step-by-step development plan. This strategy starts with cargo flights in less populated suburban areas, allowing companies to build up flight hours and data before advancing to passenger transportation. By initiating operations in lower-risk environments, eVTOL companies can establish trust and reliability, gradually progressing to more complex urban operations. For example, Autoflight's Prosperity eVTOL completed a successful 70-kilometer cross-sea flight between Shenzhen and Zhuhai, showcasing the viability of cargo transport over longer distances. In a landmark achievement for the aviation industry, Autoflight recently completed a successful unmanned flight between two cities across bodies of water in southern China's Guangdong province. This methodical approach is crucial in ensuring that eVTOL technology is seen as safe and dependable before it enters high-density city environments for passenger use. Alongside this phase strategy, consumer adoption remains a significant challenge for eVTOL companies. While venture capital funding is flowing in, the market's long-term success will depend on building consumer interest and trust. Content creators, such as Jalele, play an important role in demystifying eVTOL technology and making the idea of personal flight more accessible to the public. By sharing his own experiences with eVTOL aircraft on social media, Z helps bridge the knowledge gap and generates excitement about the potential of this new mode of transport. His work, along with the efforts of other eVTOL advocates, is essential in transforming flying cars from a futuristic vision into a practical option for daily commuters. As the technology matures and safety records are established, public enthusiasm will be key to the long-term viability of the market. But there are ongoing discussions about whether China is truly innovative or simply borrowing ideas from others. The answers might surprise you. Number 1. True innovation or borrowed ideas. When the technology behind a revolutionary flying car, originally developed in Europe, was sold to a Chinese company, it highlighted an important point. The technology for a convertible flying car, first developed and successfully tested in Europe, was acquired by a Chinese firm. This shows that China is not just waiting to catch up in the flying car race, it's actively shaping the future of personal air transport. However, this development has raised questions about whether China is genuinely innovative or merely adopting existing technologies. Hebei Jiangxin Flying Car Technology Company, a Chinese firm located in Changzhou, recently secured exclusive rights to manufacture and use the aircar, an innovative vehicle that transforms from a car to an aircraft in just over 2 minutes. Originally powered by a BMW engine and designed to run on standard fuel, the aircar completed a successful 35-minute flight between two Slovakian airports in 2021, marking a major breakthrough in flying car technology. This acquisition is just one example of a broader trend. China is quickly emerging as a leader in the flying car industry, with companies like Autoflight and EHang making significant strides. Autoflight recently tested a passenger-carrying drone that successfully flew between Shenzhen and Zhuhai, a journey that typically takes 3 hours by car. The drone completed the trip in just 20 minutes, although it did not carry passengers. Meanwhile, EHang, a leader in electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL technology, received a safety certificate from China's aviation regulators for its flying taxis, which are expected to become a regular mode of transport within the next decade. These advancements underscore the scope of China's ambitions and the diverse approaches its companies are taking to shape the future of aviation. What sets China's flying car strategy apart is its all-encompassing approach. The country's aviation authorities have embraced a phased, safety-focused strategy that prioritizes cargo flights in less crowded areas before introducing passenger services in urban centers. This gradual approach allows companies to build a solid safety track record. Furthermore, local governments are offering strong support for test flights and technological development, particularly in areas like Guangdong, home to drone giant DJI. Shenzhen, often referred to as the drone capital of the world, is at the center of many of these groundbreaking developments. This strategic approach is complemented by a strong emphasis on making air travel cost-effective. Take, for example, Autoflight's eVTOL. which offers short-distance flights at prices similar to those of ride-hailing services, making flying more accessible to the general public. With operating costs just 15% of those associated with helicopters, eVTOLs have the potential to become a mainstream transportation option. They could provide affordable, efficient travel that avoids the traffic congestion commonly found on traditional roadways. This emphasis on cost and accessibility could be the key factor in making flying cars a regular part of our daily lives, similar to the way electric vehicles, EVs, became more commonplace over the last decade. While China's strides in flying car technology are certainly noteworthy, the fact that some of this innovation, such as the air car, originally comes from Europe, prompts an interesting question. Is China merely buying its way to the top, or is it truly creating something new? The acquisition of the air car's manufacturing rights by Hebei Jiangshan means this vehicle will now be produced and operated in a specific region of China. Although the Slovakian-developed air car requires a runway to take off and land, unlike eVTOLs that can take off vertically, it still reflects China's broader ambition to integrate various flying technologies into its transportation infrastructure. Ahang, a rising player in the eVTOL market, has entered into a memorandum of understanding with Zishan Tourism to help develop the low-altitude ecosystem in China. Aviation consultant Steve Wright pointed out that China's rapid adoption of the air car could allow it to bypass some of the regulatory and infrastructure hurdles that have hindered flying car development in Western countries. Wright explains that in the West, long-established aviation regulations often struggle to accommodate new technologies, which can slow progress. By contrast, China, with fewer regulatory legacies to navigate, has the flexibility to adapt its regulations more swiftly, potentially giving it a competitive edge in the flying car race. This leads us to a larger question. Can China replicate the success it achieved with electric vehicles, where it now leads the global market in the flying car industry? While the purchase of foreign technology like the air car is a significant move, it doesn't diminish China's role in fostering an innovative environment in the flying car sector. The country's leadership in drone technology and battery production lays a strong foundation for the development of electric-powered flying vehicles. Moreover, its methodical, safety-first approach could position China to lead the global flying car market, just as it did with electric cars. Ultimately, whether the technology is homegrown or acquired, China's ability to integrate and scale flying car solutions has the potential to transform urban mobility in ways that few other nations are ready to match. As flying car technology continues to evolve, one thing is clear: China is not just a player in this revolution, it is actively shaping the future of personal air travel. Whether through its own innovations or by acquiring technologies like the air car, China is rapidly moving toward making flying cars a reality, transitioning them from a fantasy to something we may soon see in everyday life. Despite this rapid progress, there are still significant challenges to overcome, including issues related to infrastructure, regulation, and public acceptance. However, China's success with electric vehicles shows that once the country commits to dominating a market, it's likely to succeed. The innovation in flying cars won't be contained within China's borders. Just as Chinese technologies in fields like electric vehicles and 5G have spread worldwide, partnerships between Chinese firms and global companies will likely accelerate the adoption of eVTOLs and flying cars internationally. As Chinese companies develop more affordable and efficient flying vehicles, other countries may begin to incorporate these advancements into their urban transportation systems, fundamentally changing how people and goods move across the globe. With these advances, do you think the world is still far from realizing the futuristic visions seen in movies?